start the video.
Okay, I started the video.
Yeah, I'm good. All right. Just say your name and your grade.
I'm John Ryan Byers, and I'm a senior at Newton North High School.
I'm Casey Weaver.
Anil Chidolopoli.
Douglas Williams.
Elias Simpson.
Anna.
Bashan.
Nora Sharesh.
Clark Lakomsky.
Erica.
Jan Horsberg.
Josh Pinto.
I'm Cece McCormick.
Lucy.
Allie.
Colin Foley.
Sarah. Layla Davis.
My name's Jaden King.
Hannah Schultz.
Austin Hurley.
Michaela Patriarca.
Eli Richmond.
My name is Yuna Jang.
What do you remember from the last day of school?
How did you feel on that Wednesday when you found out that after-school activities were canceled?
I can't say I was surprised. I thought it was, definitely going to come. Like, it had to. Like, I think the NBA season was already canceled by then, so, our school would have to do it.
At that moment, I kind of realized that a lot of things for the rest of the school year were in jeopardy.
I was a little happy because I had dance right after school and I didn't want to go.
I'm part of the volleyball team, and so we were supposed to have a captain's practice, and then we were informed by Juicy and the athletic department that nothing was going to happen.
I do most of my work in extracurriculars. That's why I'm always asleep. So I don't know. That was a big chunk of my high school experience that just kind of vanished. And there's just a lot of uncertainty there.
The track team decided we weren't going to go to nationals because of COVID, obviously. And then, so we had a meeting that Wednesday afternoon, and then I walked home with a few of my friends from the track team, and we talked about what would happen in various scenarios if school got shut down or if the outdoor season got shut down. But it was still pretty unreal at that point, and we didn't actually think any of that was going to happen.
At that time, we thought that we were going to be going on with school, but just the extracurricular activities would be canceled. So I remember just being why?
Maybe I was more just nervous to see what else would come, because it doesn't really make the most logical sense to cancel after school activities and still have school going on.
I kind of didn't expect it to come so soon. At the time, I was kind of I knew that coronavirus was a big deal, but I hadn't really realized how far it had reached into Massachusetts.
I remember I made a bet with Harry that day, and I was like, Harry, I bet you $10 that by May 1st we'll look back at this whole COVID scare and it won't have been that bad.
It was a Thursday. My last block was PGA with Miss Albert, and we spent the majority of the class talking about Corona because nobody really knew that much about it at that point. And all my teachers were we're not going to cancel school. We're definitely going to have school. And she was the only teacher that was there's no way we have school on Monday.
I remember my homeroom teacher was we'll probably be done, not here this weekend, then we'll come back on Monday after the deep clean.
For some reason, I remember my physics class, and we were basically, just talking about how it would be crazy if school closed.
My ethics teacher brought it up and thought that we weren't gonna close school at all.
In Miala, we had just a whole long block full of talking about the coronavirus, which I was not enjoying. Some people were, I'm sure.
I just remember teachers saying, this is due tomorrow if we have school. And I was oh, hopefully we don't have school.
I remember everything going normally. I remember not doing much, going to my classes, regretting the math test that I was supposed to have the next day and the fact that I hadn't studied, and then hearing a bunch of stuff about a disease that I knew nothing about.
No one really knew what was going to happen, and everyone was just talking about it. You could hear everyone talking about what was going to happen, if we were going to have school on Friday.
For some reason, the energy towards the last few days before the pandemic situation, everyone was super on edge, at least the people that I was hanging around, and me included.
Everything felt kind of hazy and like a dream because I was coming off a semi-serious concussion where I wasn't really doing a lot of work or anything like that, or really in my classes, like fully in the moment. I was just sort of trying to get through the week, sort of dizzy and nauseous. So to be honest, I really don't remember that much from my last day of school.
I have Eve block free, so I left at I left during lunch. So I didn't stay for the afternoon, and I just went home and I took a nap. And that was my last day of school.
Well, I remember I got home from school. I was the only one in the house. And then I think the phone rang.
I remember the moment when it was canceled. The moment when it was canceled, it was like the end of practice.
And it said, call from Newton Public Schools. And I was like, uh-oh.
Hello, this is David Fleischman. Given the latest information we have on COVID-19, we have made a decision to close all Newton Public Schools tomorrow, Friday, March 13th. We will also be closed next week and possibly for a longer period.
We just listened to it, and I was like, all right, well, I'm going to make some pizza then. Like, I'm going to figure out what the next step is, but I'm not doing homework right now.
When the quarantine got announced, I took a super long nap, and it was awesome.
I heard from a friend of mine texted me, they texted our group chat saying it was canceled.
My sister came into my room and told me, and then we ran into my mom's office where she was having a meeting.
I was like, yes, let's go. No school.
I was celebrating quite a bit.
At first, it was kind of fantastic.
It's like a snow day, right? Like you're excited to not go to school.
I was thrilled because I didn't want to take that math test the next day.
When I first found out that school was canceled for apps, let me start again. Edit that out.
I think the best word would be relieved when they first canceled it. I was kind of stressing about school a lot in that moment. For some reason, I would kind of wanted that break, and I was dreading having to wait till April break.
I think I was also kind of scared about the bigger implications of the virus. I'm sure it was great for me to get out of school, but how bad is this really for the world?
So many people are being negatively impacted by this that, I feel bad that I was excited.
But I just thought I could hang out with my friends and we wouldn't have any homework, and it would just be a good break from the stress of high school, I guess. Yeah.
Was this a shock to you, or were you kind of expecting all of this to happen?
I was kind of expecting it, but at the same time, I was surprised that they did it on a Thursday and not at the start of a new week. So I was like, damn, this must be really urgent. They're just doing it with one day left to go in the week.
I think I was shocked. I don't think that's how I thought it was going to go down.
I was definitely shocked. I didn't think that we were going to close. And if so, not that soon.
When something's going to happen, but you don't picture the timeline properly. So I knew it was going to happen just because it was already, my step-sibling school had been closed in Concord. Everything there was a wave coming.
That went from this whole corona thing is pretty spooky to when are they going to cancel school? When is quarantine starting for us? It's descending upon our city.
The first day, waking up not at 6 a.m. was nice. But I think after that first weekend, I realized it was going to be really boring.
It was kind of a blessing at first. And then when I found out I couldn't leave my house and I couldn't see anyone other than my family, I was like, oh, maybe I do want to go to school.
School is what we do, It's every day is school, but it's it was very strange, but it wasn't negative.
I was excited because, a couple weeks off sounded nice in theory. Who wouldn't want that? But obviously I had no idea of the ramifications and the implications and how long this would drag on for, how serious it actually was. It went from, okay, cool, we don't have school for a couple weeks to, shit, this is going to be pretty bad.
I would say 1 month into quarantine, it hit a lot more. It was really upsetting not being able to see everybody.
The MIAA, which is the governing body for the Massachusetts athletic or high school sports, were really trying to save the season for all of the spring sports. They kept revising the like the guidelines and the schedule as things got pushed back. So we were still kind of holding out hope that if we could go back to school in like early or mid-May, that we'd still have some kind of a season.
After the first week, I was pretty convinced we were not going to go back to school. Just from the descriptions, the stories, the stuff I read, I was like, yeah, this is pretty much it.
So then how did you feel when they did finally announce that we weren't going to go back to school at all?
That one hit like a truck.
Today, our administration's announcing that all public and private schools will remain closed through the end of the school year.
The way that I found out is that someone in like our lacrosse group chat texted that school was canceled for the rest of the year because that automatically means we won't have a season, which sucked.
I remember getting a text from Lucy Bronstein, and she just texted me, "Rip school."
I think I saw all the like goodbye, like thank you Newton North posts.
You know, I saw the announcement and I was like, oh my god, like, we're not going back to school. This is crazy. And you know, like I texted my friends about it, and we were all like, to think that we already had our last day of high school is just crazy.
How did you feel when you found out that they had canceled school for the rest of the year?
I cried. That was a very bad feeling.
Yeah, I was really disappointed, obviously. You know, you really look forward to like the last couple months of senior year. The weather, it was really tough to sort of process that and to never really be able to say goodbye to the building or anyone in person.
How did you feel when you found out that school's done for the year?
I'm not quite sure. Like, to be honest, because we were already starting to hit that. We were already leading into like review for all for like AP courses, and stuff was starting to look, you know, we were sort of starting to approach the home stretch.
Yeah, I think I was kind of relieved because at that point it felt like it would be hard to go back to being in school.
Honestly, not so bad being a senior right now, because we were going to waste all this time anyways. That's kind of the deal. So this is just kind of a different way to waste it.
It was kind of a push-pull, depressing, exciting feeling.
I think I was mostly in denial. Like, deep down, like, I knew that it would happen, but I was like, oh, it's fine.
I don't think it's like, I'm even fully there, like, accepting that we're not going back, because it's just like what my life has been is going to Newton North. So, like, I don't think it's fully set in.
And then I just kind of realized I didn't get to like say goodbye to anyone, or like didn't get to live my last day of high school to the fullest. And I was really disappointed. I didn't think that it would have to come to this.
I don't even get to say goodbye and don't really experience like the last parts of high school, right? Like what we've been working towards. So it was sadness, probably, like sadness. Like,
I think like intellectually I was like, oh yeah, like school's canceled, no way we're going back.
But it was still like the nail in the coffin. It was pretty sad. It was also just like not a nice day in general.
Oh yeah, that was my birthday. Oh my god, that was terrible. Yeah, I remember so I was trying to have like a great day. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna look at the news today. I told my brother, okay, Andrew, you're not telling me what's gonna happen today. I don't care if Baker shuts down the schools. Don't tell me what happens. And I got through like half the day. It was mostly fine. I think something else. All right, I'll talk about that later. But then I don't know why, but I looked up like Massachusetts coronavirus. Biggest mistake. And I can see the first thing was that school was canceled. I was like, no. Yeah, that was pretty terrible. And then Gronkowski got traded away from the Patriots, and that was even worse.
What do you feel like you're missing out on the most?
Ooh. That's depressing. I think just like, for lack of a better term, like the last hurrah before everything is different. You know what I mean? Like getting to spend time with your friends and like enjoying the outdoors and like having those big moments that you've wanted to experience forever.
I was super excited for prom because like all my work basically as a student, as a VP was for planning prom. So it just felt like really disappointing to have put all that effort in and then have it not actually happen.
I'm probably more missing like prom.
And I was a little bummed about prom, like I'm not gonna lie. I think senior prom would have been so much fun. But honestly, I think graduation was kind of like the one I was missing the most.
I think graduation was the only thing that I was really upset about.
I really wanted to graduate, like just like walk across the stage.
I'd say I was probably most looking forward to graduation.
Probably senior countdown. Like that was the biggest thing. Like I don't know. Like that's the one thing we saw like upperclassmen doing, and like not being able to experience that is pretty sad.
Pops night was gonna be fun. I was looking forward to that.
Probably the physics boat races.
One of the most upsetting things is that I didn't get to do my mural. So like that was like kind of like one of the first things I thought about.
I guess I never really realized how much I would miss having some sort of like structure in my day.
I feel like prom, graduation are like they're fun. I don't know, but I think I was just more upset because I feel like there's a lot of people who you will miss not seeing, and like not having like a real goodbye is really weird.
You know, they can reschedule graduation and they can reschedule prom maybe, but you know you can't get back all those like last days of school.
I kind of had a really fixed view of what the last week was gonna look like, and everything just deteriorated.
Just like, I don't think there's one event that stands above the rest, but just the collection of all of these events for a month straight that I've been looking forward to for a long time.
I feel like I took a lot for granted every day, just seeing friends, having fun, you know, eating lunch together outside. I just miss a lot of that, and yeah.
What have you been up to during the quarantine? Are you finding ways to stay active and stay connected with people?
Yeah, for sure. I've actually been surprisingly not bored.
I've been trying to like fill it up with like little hobbies I have, from like making music, playing video games, reading, which is something I never really did before. So yeah, I've been going out for walks with my grandma and stuff.
I played guitar when I was little, but then I never really had much time to during school. So I've started playing guitar like a lot more.
I've definitely taken up cooking. I mean, if there was an Asian Gordon Ramsay, that would probably be me.
Yeah, I'm staying connected with my friends. We've been playing some online poker and some Scribble. And then I think what's really been fun for me is that I do a Zoom workout with my diving team at 4 o'clock every day. And that's a good way to stay connected.
My dance studio started doing dance classes over Zoom.
I'm teaching virtual karate classes, so that's like, I teach like 7 classes a week, so that's good. I'm still making money.
After the announcement that we're not going to school ever again, I don't know, ever since then it's just kind of been like, I don't do much.
I'm probably not talking to many people. I've just been binge watching television. So
I've been just like vegging out and reading and watching a lot of TV.
I realized if I sit around and watch TV all day, I will hate myself. So I've been trying to budget that.
If it's like sunny outside and stuff, and like I find a little bit of motivation, like I can honestly be really on top of like talking to people and like, you know, connecting with my friends, FaceTiming or whatever, social distancing, you know, all that stuff.
It's really important to be able to like, you know, get in a good mind space and like not let this quarantine like just take control of your life, you know? You don't have to be like sitting in like the dark all the time.
Are you staying active and connected with people?
No.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
I feel like certain people I've become like very close with just because I've been FaceTiming them more, and I've been trying to like use FaceTime and Zoom a little bit more.
I've also gotten like significantly closer with my sister, which is weird, but I guess makes sense since we're stuck together.
The amount of times that I've randomly texted someone and been like, I miss you so much, it's like not weird to say that anymore.
A few days ago, we actually had a 7th grade team reunion from Team Cardinal from Day Middle School, and that was really just insane. And we had all our teachers come back.
You know, I didn't think I appreciated my 7th grade team, and we had a call for that. Like, that kind of stuff. Like, I didn't think I appreciated that, but I clearly did, and it meant a lot to me.
Just like things like that, you know, I think really make quarantine a little bit bearable.
So what would you say are the silver linings from this whole experience?
Well, I never had to take that calc test, so that's a pretty big silver lining.
Now when bad news comes in, I've been more able to like brush it off, deal with it, maybe not take it so much to heart, and kind of think about what good news is coming in too.
I feel like it kind of taught me how to be like alone with myself. I feel like before this situation, you know, my main go-to way of like living was just always being with people. Like I kind of hated being alone. I'm not an introvert in the slightest.
It's actually a good exercise in figuring out how to like fight boredom and how to be like a real person outside of school or work or whatever structures are there.
Yeah, I think it's just taught me how to motivate myself and how to like keep working even though like I just really don't want to and I don't really see a point in it, which I think should help me for college when we don't have as strict of a schedule. I think it's a okay transition.
It's made me really grateful for my friends because it's like I feel like I'm lucky to have people where I would just go like and sit and just talk for like a few hours, and it's still a lot of fun even though it's not what I want to be doing.
During school was so busy all the time, and like, you know, I wouldn't be home until like 9 or 10 at night every night, and like I didn't really have time to sit back and be like, I have a lot to be grateful for, even if I'm not at school or seeing people.
I think sometimes it's really easy to like hate on school and hate on the work we get and like what we have to deal with, but being away from it, I think makes you appreciate like how many opportunities we had and how good we had it.
It's not like the seniors who were, you know, graduating and like being drafted into like the Vietnam War, you know. like it's really not as bad as that.
It's also going to make me appreciate seeing people like a hell of a lot more because I miss everyone a lot. So once we get back together, it's going to be super awesome.
And then just to kind of like wrap up, is there any teacher, coach, faculty member from North that you want to give, you know, goodbye, thank you message to?
Oh yeah, for sure. There are quite a few actually. Like, I've had some great teachers I've been really lucky to have a lot of really good teachers. Maybe the few that would stick it. Well, first of all, my track coach, Sean Wallace, he's the best, and Coach Lou. And then Miss Donovan, great, probably the best math teacher I've ever had. Mr. Hamill, great chem teacher. Mr. Grant, sophomore English, that was quite the experience.
And a teacher who really like means a lot to me, I guess, is Mr. Fabrizio. I think he was like one of the most dedicated teachers I ever had, and I think something that made him like incredibly remarkable as an educator is that like the passion that he has for what he's teaching makes you more interested in the material.
Oh, a teacher I want to thank is definitely Miss Atkinson. She's one of those teachers that always like expressed, you know, like a genuine like interest and care for our mental well-being as well as just us succeeding in school.
Miss Wong for literally everything.
Mr. Kane was kind of one of the only teachers that helped me every single year of high school, and he was always very helpful when it came to any personal projects that I had.
Miss Virgil and Mr. Shadis, probably the best two math teachers in math classes.
Shout out Miss Devlin, freshman year, super nice.
I'd like to thank Mr. Goddard, and I definitely learned a lot from him on like how to handle life.
And Miss Leong, she's done a lot of work for me and a lot of other kids.
I've had Miss Saha for 3 out of the 4 years, so she's been, you know, she's helped me a lot. And then Mr. Gessel's been a great teacher.
Mr. Giordano, my English teacher from junior and senior year.
Miss Myles, she was awesome.
Mr. Anderson, Myles knows, so fun at an A block physics class. Really, I liked the jokes. There's good music. I felt really welcome.
Mr. Patelis, who was my history teacher for 2 years, and I just like to take a moment to appreciate that man.
Mr. Knapp, one of the best teachers I've ever had.
100% Mr. Shoudis. I have him for 2 of my classes. He's like the best teacher I've ever had.
Mr. Felicki, my philosophy teacher, he's just like awesome.
Miss O'Rourke, she was the homie. We had fun. She knows this.
Miss Gilman, my calc teacher, is a very, very good person.
Mr. Turner, the history teacher, for seeing the best in me. I think he was a really good influence on me in junior year, like what time when I really needed it.
Mr. Bidar, super freaking nice, smart guy.
My school counselor, Kyle Greenwich, he is my favorite person.
Mr. Grossman, because love that baddie.
Shout out Dr. Wood for being the greatest Spanish teacher on the planet.
I mean, the first one I think of is Mr. Greenfield. He was a good teacher, but he was also just like, I think he made us all feel like people, not just like students.
Mr. Bennett, who I've been close with like all through high school. He's always just been a great support.
I love all my teachers at North.
I've been lucky to have a lot of and so many more great teachers at North.
My name's Michaela. Do you want a full name, or is Michaela good?
Let's start over.
And then, how did you find out that school was going to be canceled for the rest of the year, and how did you feel?
Josh just asked me that.
Yeah, that was the question.
Did you actually?
Yeah.
Miles is alert and attentive today.
Yeah, okay. You can ask the next one.
Okay. How did you find out that school was going to be canceled for the rest?
Funny.
Anything that you've gained from all of this craziness?
Wait. Next question.
Oh, you're saying you gained weight. Okay.
A little slow there.
Yeah. No.
Wait, do that again. That's funny.
Then my brother, he screwed up my cake somehow. Oh yeah, he put the cake batter in the sink, and then he forgot it was there, so he turned on the water to wash a cup, and he poured water into the cake, so it got ruined. So that was definitely my worst birthday.
My Zoom's bugging out right now. It's like saying Zoom detected a problem with your computer audio. Oh no.
This is really funny. Wait, I'm not in the frame. Yeah, so, the Friday...
I think that's a wrap.
You know, if the world has to be in this terrible state, at least we're not in school. Are these supposed to be like honest, or are they supposed to be like pro, like I love North, miss it?
You guys like making this a thing? Is this like a documentary that you're gonna like, a mockumentary?
Yeah, well, a documentary.
It's a different text, so if you could like put it on like Google Drive and like share it or something.
No, I'm just gonna keep it and watch it every day.
Wow, Myles. A lot to take in. You said it, Josh. What a great film. I like the part when Anil said that he was surprised that they canceled school on Thursday instead of at the beginning of a new week.
My favorite part was when they talked about school.
But on a more serious note, we wanted to take this time to thank all of our amazing teachers and faculty at New North.
Absolutely. I mean, the teachers you heard mentioned earlier are just a sampling of the incredible faculty that we have at this school.
Thank you, Newton North.
And thank you, Newton South.
See you next year.